Hi, Happy New Year. Leah from Red Emerald Yoga, and today I'm doing the New Year's spread for 2023. So go ahead and choose pile A, pile B, or pile C. Okay, if you have chosen pile A, this spread is for you. So this first card is the previous year in summary. And here we have the Knight of Wands. So here we have this knight, and he's on his horse, and he's got these salamanders all over his tunic, and this like fiery thing coming out of his hat, his helmet, and his armor. So to me, this is like his inspiration. The wand suit is all about fire, so it's all about like manifestation, taking charge of your destiny. So here we have the Knight of Wands, and he's just really charging forward with all of this creative energy. So maybe there was something that you were working on and you're really trying to get it going. This shows that. Card 2 is the Chariot reversed. So these are the lessons learned from the past year. So with the Chariot reversed, so it's like the Chariot, he's charging forward. There's like, the Chariot has to have a lot of control, a lot of power and self-will. And lessons learned in the last year with the Chariot being reversed, you may have had all of this creative energy, this passion, this idea, but maybe you weren't going about it in the right way. Maybe you got stuck. It's like when these two sphinxes start pulling the Chariot in different directions, the Chariot's not going to be able to move forward. So that's the lesson you learned, that the way that you were going about things, for some reason, just wasn't working out for you. Had some sort of hiccup. And the aspiration for the next 12 months. Here we have the Hanged Man reversed, and I love this card, especially following the first two. So when the Hanged Man's this way, it's all about like taking a time out, maybe thinking about it, taking some time to reflect and go inwards. But when we have the Hanged Man reversed, he literally looks like he's standing up. And it's time to take action when you have the Hanged Man reversed. So now that you've reflected on the last 12 months, you learned some hard lessons. Well, now it is time to take action in 2023. And for card number 4, what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? Here we have the Six of Wands reversed. So this card upright is like all these people are celebrating this person's accomplishments. The horse is draped in this green. He's got the wreath, which is like a sign of victory. But when it's reversed, to me, it makes me think of like celebrating your own wins, giving gratitude for what you have accomplished. So even though there were these challenges and getting this goal going, you know, like the whole year wasn't a loss. So here with the Six of Wands reversed, I feel like this card is calling on you to look back at what you did accomplish, what you have achieved. Don't just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. You know, stand up. You're going to take action and go back and give yourself a pat on the back. Card number 5, what may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? Here we have the Five of Cups. So here this person's standing here looking at all of these cups that have spilled, what went wrong, what he's lost. And there's all of this emotion right here. What he needs to do is turn around, pick up these 2 cups that are still remaining, and go over here and cross over this bridge. so he can get to, this place of comfort, this place of security. So that's what may stand in your way, dwelling on the past, feeling sorry for yourself, basically having a pity party. Here we have the grass, it's still green. Things are not as bad as they seem, even though things happen and things are unfortunate. It's important not to stay stuck here. You got to pick up those cups and keep moving forward. So that's something to look out for. If you find yourself in the year starting to fall into this 5 of Cups mentality, make sure you go back and to the 6 of Wands reversed, and start giving yourself a pep talk, giving yourself a little bit of credit. Okay, card number 6, your relationships and emotions in the coming year. 2 of Swords. I think this is about choices. Choices, and there's a lot of emotion going on here. And her heart is crossed. So I think this is about like opening your heart and making some tough choices. Figuring out what you want and what you don't want, like what no longer works for you, and releasing that. And that goes for your relationships and even your emotions. Sometimes the relationship can be done and over with, but for you, it's not, because you're still stuck there emotionally in your mind. So you want to make sure that you're not here. I think that goes back to the 5 of Cups. And just really letting go of what no longer serves you. Okay, card number 7, your career, work, and finances. Here we have the Empress. I love that. The Empress, here she's standing, or she's sitting actually, but she's got like stable ground beneath her. This little bench thing that she's on, it looks like it's made out of stone, so it's really stable and secure. But even though it's like it's hard and made out of stone, she's still comfortable. So she's got all these fancy pillows. She's got her little throw right here. And this is the symbol of Venus. It's a symbol of love. The Empress is very loving. She's a very caring person. She enjoys caring for others. And everything she puts her hands to, it just blossoms. And there's all these pomegranates. That's like fertility. So she's just like bringing life to her projects. She's surrounded in nature. So I think that's really good. Like she's very grounded. So as far as like your career, work, and finances, yeah, it's looking very good. It's about to start blossoming. Card number 8, your health and well-being. Here we have the 2 of Pentacles reversed. I'm just going to turn this around so you can get a good look at it. So here we have this guy, and he's juggling these 2 pentacles, these two choices. And pentacles are like real world issues. And here we have this figure 8, this infinity symbol. And it's like these choices, these decisions, they never end. They're always going to be there. There's like ups and downs in your life, a lot of emotions, but when this card's reversed, and I feel like reverse, for as far as your health and well-being go, you have some tough decisions to make. I think it's coming down to choices, like not just saying like, oh, it stinks that I have this going on in my life, when you can do something about it. Like if there's steps or actions that you can take to improve yourself, then that's going to be on you to make those decisions, and not just thinking that your health and your well-being are just something that happens to you. A lot of times it's what happens to you based on your own actions of things that like you created in your own life, and it's asking you to take charge of it. Card number 9 is your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. So here we have the sun, and we have this child, a representation of innocence, youthful vitality. He's on this white horse, and his body language is just like completely open and receptive. He's just ready to embrace life. Got this flower on this little feather, and it's like he's full of ideas, you know. And the sun is all of this masculine energy, creative energy. It's healing and vitality, and I love that, you know, like your spiritual energy and fulfillment. I couldn't think of a better card to draw in this position. The sun is just like the embodiment of happiness. And I feel like with this card is challenging you to sit down and really think, you know, like what used to make you happy as a child? What used to bring you joy? And why did you stop doing that? You know, just embrace your inner child and try to focus on fulfilling those desires, you know, like you're running around and just like digging your toes in the sand, or sitting back and watching a bird fly, or the clouds go across the sky, the little tiny things in life that used to make you happy. Sit back and notice them. Call an old friend. Reach out to someone who you haven't spoken to in a while. Okay, and we have card number 10. What you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Ooh, here we have the 9 of Cups reversed. So I feel like this card is saying that you have all of these options and all of these choices, all of these opportunities available to you. And you need to sit back, and you need to, or actually like you're sitting back, and what you need to do is stand up and choose a cup. Pick one. Don't just sit there like literally sitting on your butt with your arms crossed. Like stand up and do something. Enjoy your blessings. Enjoy your gifts. So that way this year doesn't pass you by. Card 11. This is your most important lesson for the coming year. Judgment reversed. I feel like this card is forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself and forgiving others. And letting those things go. I think that still goes back to the 5 of Cups. You know, yeah, it's time to move forward. Letting go. Card number 12. Overall, where you are headed in the next 12 months. Queen of Pentacles reversed. Like the Empress, the Queen of Pentacles is a very nurturing person. She's like the perfect embodiment of like a working parent. She can balance her activities. Now, when this card is reversed, I feel like this card is calling on you to not so much stop taking care of other people, but make sure that it's balanced. Like don't overdo it. You can't pour from an empty cup. So I feel like this card is saying to really like you're really headed into a place where you're able to not only take care of others, but take care of yourself. Like it's a time of self-care, doing things that are important and needed for you. And that can be as little as taking time to take a bath, or maybe, you know, getting your nails done, getting your hair cut, getting a massage once in a while. Just really taking time to take care of you. And when you do that, I think you're going to be surrounded by a lot of growth. And here there's this little, I don't know if you can see it, this little bunny. And the bunnies it represents fertility. And I think that anything that you really put your heart to, it's going to be prosperous. And that is your reading, Group A. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, Pile B. If you've chosen Pile B, this reading is for you. Okay, so with card number 1, this is the previous year in summary. And here we have the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so last year may have felt like you were just kind of stuck on this wheel, spinning round and round with no control over what's up, what's down. You may have felt like, depending on your situation, this is a collective reading. So maybe you felt like you had good luck. Maybe you felt like you had bad luck. But either way, like it was like kind of like a roller coaster. You were up and down. One thing to note is that the Sphinx is on top, and this Sphinx represents like knowledge and strength. So this card is up, okay? So whatever happened to you in the last year, it ended with the Sphinx on top. So pay attention to that. Focus on your wins. Okay, card 2, these are the lessons learned from the last year. So even though you had this roller coaster action going on, what we learned was the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands, he's got this fancy schmancy tunic and it's covered in salamanders. Salamanders represent fire, just like the wands. And so this is like, you may have learned something, maybe the page is very inquisitive. So maybe you learned a new skill, maybe you learned a new hobby, a new trade. Perhaps you even started a new line of work. But whatever it is, like the page is really interested in this growth that's on his wands right here. And he's got this little feather on top of his hat. So he's really captivated by that. And there were some challenges in the background, but he definitely learned from his mistakes and he's ready to move forward. He's ready to put what he learned into action. And these are your aspirations for the next 12 months with card 3. Here we have the World reversed. So let me turn this around so you can see. With the World, you're like here, right? This is the last card in the tarot. And normally when the card is upright, this person, she's able to move through this wreath. It's a symbol of completion. But with the card being reversed, you're not quite, like you haven't really crossed through the wreath. So you learned your lessons, you know, but what you really want to be working on this year is putting what you learned into action and working on moving through that wreath. So there may be like some sort of project that you've started, or maybe you've taken some courses over the last year, or you've gone out and learned something, but you haven't really put it into action. So this card is suggesting that you really focus on taking those action steps, moving through. Card 4 is what empowers you in reaching your aspirations. Let's see. Ooh, the Moon. Nice. Okay, so what empowers you? I think this is like just being able to discern, like cut through the mental chatter, like what's real and what's not real, what affects you and what doesn't affect you, and really balancing those, like your masculine and your feminine energies, like knowing when you've had enough and you just need to take a time out, when you need to go to sleep, and knowing when to take action, when to get up and just move, motivate yourself, having those feminine and masculine energies balanced, the yin and the yang, and not allowing yourself to be swayed by what others are doing, being true to yourself. So like not getting distracted on social media or the news, you know, things like that. That's going to really help you in reaching your goals, stepping through the world, the wreath, by keeping yourself focused and grounded in the now. Card 5 is what may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations. Oh, I kind of went over that, but let's see what this card says. Ace of Swords. Okay, so the Ace of Swords, like I think of this like the card of like infinite potential, like great ideas. So I love this card. It's a really good card. But in this position, it's going to stand in the way of you reaching your aspirations. So again, I think you need to stay focused and cutting through the mental chatter, not letting yourself get distracted by ideas, really staying focused. Yeah, so like if you're starting out to do one thing, you know, I know I do this. I don't know if you do, but I do. Like I'll do something, I'll be doing something, working on something, and then I'll be like, ooh, let me just check my email, or oh, let me just check my social media, or let me whatever. I think this card is telling you like, no, stay focused. Don't let yourself get sidetracked. I don't know who said this, but it was like something about multitasking. Like when you're trying to multitask, like you really don't get anything done because you can only focus on one thing at a time. So you may think you're, you know, saving time and energy by multitasking, but actually you're just distracting yourself and making things last so much longer by trying to do all of these tasks at once. So I think that's a better summary of it. Like not to multitask, stay focused on one task at a time. Okay, card 6, your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Let's see. 9 of Pentacles reversed. Let's turn this around so you can see it. Oh, this one was reversed. I don't even remember if any of these other ones were reversed. Wait, was that one reversed? I don't even remember. I'm just going to leave it up. Okay, I know this one was reversed. Okay, so 9 of Pentacles reversed. Your relationships and emotions in the coming year. Okay, so 9 of Pentacles. To me, this card is symbolic of like this woman's arrived. She's financially secure. She's comfortable, and it's like she doesn't depend on other people. When it's reversed, I tend to think it's more like taking care, like kind of taking care of others. Like she's not so self-centered. So I think like your relationships and emotions in the coming year, like you may be more prone to be concerning yourself with others, and your relationships, maybe working on your relationships, helping those relationships flourish. Number 7, your career, work, and finances. Let's see. 6 of Cups reversed. Okay. So normally this card is like working with others, working well with others. To me, it like reminds me of like community work, charity work. Even like thinking of childhood memories. But this card for career, work, and finances reversed. I'm thinking this card is suggesting checking your ego. Like making sure that you're doing things because you want to, not because of the praise that you're going to get. Like in your career, like career and work, not being a yes person, not overextending yourself, and not taking on more projects than you can handle. With finances, the same thing, like not giving to charity because you're going to post it on social media and like get a bunch of likes. Doing it because you truly want to. And now I'm going to go back to this Wheel of Fortune card. This is often called the Wheel of Karma. So you want to keep your karma in check, like doing things not for selfish reasons. I think that's what that card is saying. Really feeling like a lot about ego. Yeah, really getting a strong hit on ego. Number 8, your health and well-being. Oops. Let's see. Ooh, 6 of Pentacles. Your health and well-being. Okay, so again, this is a collective reading. It's not specifically for one person. So this can take on a couple of different meanings. With your health and well-being, maybe that's like you're going to need help. You're going to need to seek an expert opinion. Maybe you are going through something really strong and something really important, and you're going to need help. You're going to be either on the receiving end, like getting help here, or maybe you're this person where people are going to be learning from your past experiences, or you're going to be in a place where helping others is going to actually be helping you in some form. Maybe it's like maybe some of you are going to have to be spending money. Maybe you're going to be handing out a lot of money to improve your health and well-being. That's really interesting. Yeah. One thing I want to point out is these scales. They're perfectly weighted. So whatever it is, it's going to be an equal exchange. So make sure that you're not, make sure that it's worth it. Whatever you're doing, that you weigh the pros and the cons, financially and otherwise. Yeah, I'm really drawn to those scales. So even though this guy looks like he's helping here, like it's fair, right? But like for some way, you know, in this reading, I feel like I'm really just drawn to the scales. So even these people are doing something for this person. Card number 9, your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Three of Wands reversed. Okay, so with this card, I feel like the answer that you've been waiting for is arriving. Normally, when this card's upright, I feel like this guy's looking for new opportunities. But when it's reversed, I feel like this, like what you've been waiting for, what you've been seeking, is coming to you. So with your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment, again, coming back to that wheel of fortune, the wheel of karma, and moving through with the world. Yeah, like I feel like whatever you've been seeking, it's on its way. These little ships right here. I don't know if you can see those, but there's these little ships, and that's what you've been waiting for, and they're coming. They're on their way to you. So I don't know what you've been seeking as far as like spiritually and internally, but you know. Number 10 is what you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Knight of Cups. Okay, so the Knight of Cups, I feel like you need to work on some of you, so again, collective reading, some of you need to work on your relationships, your romantic relationships. Maybe you could be doing a little bit more than you currently are. Yeah, like maybe you need to put in a little bit extra energy and not be so much of a taker. You also need to give. And this card can also take on another meaning. Some of you may be dealing with this very seductive person, this like Casanova type person, and being taken advantage of. And this card is calling on you to not let yourself be a doormat, to put up healthy boundaries and protect your heart. Card number 11. This is your most important lesson for the coming year. Seven of Pentacles reversed. Okay, so this card is your most important lesson is patience. Not being so impatient, not trying to force things to happen before their time. Or when things happen that you were not expecting, to keep yourself grounded in the now and realize that, yes, something happened, but it's not the end of the world. There's still a lot of good in the situation, and not losing your cool. Card number 12, overall, where you are headed in the next 12 months. Okay, 8 of Wands reversed. Okay, we're going back to the Wheel of Fortune again. So this is where you started. That was last year's summary. And this is where we're heading in the next 12 months. This is karma. This is like all of the energy that you put out in the last year. It's all coming back to you now. And that could even be like in the beginning of the year, like with now, the beginning of 2023. Being careful what kind of energy you're putting out. What are you attracting into your life? Because whatever you put out, that's what you're going to get back. And so, wow, Group B, Pile B, your reading is like all about karma, all about manifesting, receiving what you put out. And again, that brings me back to these scales right here of it being balanced. Somehow, if what you're putting out, if what your actions are balanced and your karma is good, and I think that's what's going to help you step through that wheel. That's your aspirations for the next 12 months. So your reading is all about karma. Okay, I hope you enjoyed your reading, Pile B. Thank you so much. Hello, okay, Pile C. Welcome to your reading. So this card is the previous year in summary. Oh, you know what? Let me light my incense. I just put in a new incense for you. Let me go ahead and light this really quick. Make sure it's lit. All right, here we go. All right. Okay, so the previous year in summary. Here we have the Star. Okay, so I feel like last year was all about healing. Because this is a collective reading, this can take on many forms, but maybe healing old emotional wounds, physical. Here she's even pouring the water on the earth. So maybe some of you are actively involved in healing the earth in some way. But last year was time of healing. The lessons learned from the past year. The Hierophant. Okay. Let's see. So the Hierophant, the lessons learned. The Hierophant's like He represents a very rigid form of thinking, telling you what to think and how to think. And also these keys right here at the bottom, these represent like hidden knowledge that's hidden from you. And so I feel like what you learned was you learned things that were meant to be hidden from you. You're breaking free of whatever this Hierophant energy is in your life that was telling you what to think and how to think. You're breaking free of that, and you're starting to think for yourself, and you can see things clearly. You understand what's really going on. Aspirations for the next 12 months. Let's see what card 3 shows. Here we have the 8 of Cups. And I feel like this is you going off to search for this missing cup right here. You're going to look for what is missing in your life. You've got this like moon and the sun, this balancing of the masculine and the feminine energies. So you now know what's missing, and you're going in search of that this next year, 2023. And it looks like you're going at night, even though there's the sun there too. I always feel like this card is happening at night, and so it may not be a very popular idea. Maybe other people may not approve of it, but you know what's right, and you're going in search of this missing cup. Card number 4, what empowers you in reaching your aspirations? The 4 of Wands reversed. I'm just going to turn this around so you can get a good look at it. Okay, so the 4 of Wands reversed. What empowers you in reaching your aspirations? I feel like because this is a collective reading, I feel like I'm being torn in 2 directions. Normally, I would just say that is from a lack of stability, a lack of having a solid foundation, having someone that you could trust. That's what's empowering you. That's what's like motivating you and fueling you on your endeavors. But I'm really getting a strong feeling that some of you are not lacking that aspect. And normally I would have that for like feeling it, like if the card was upright, but it's reversed. But I'm still like getting a really strong feeling that I should also be reading this like in the upright for some reason. I don't know. Like, so I feel like some of you have that strong backing, like that strong foundation. To me, it's like a family, and there's someone at home, or perhaps it's in the workplace. There's someone that really supports you and has your back, and that's what's helping you. And then for some of you, I feel like it's not having that is fueling your fire to move forward and achieve these goals, because you know what you want and because you know what is missing. What may stand in the way of reaching your aspirations? So let's see, card 5. Ace of Cups. Okay, so your emotions, like this overflowing of emotions may get in your way. Becoming overly emotional, that could be like overly passionate, and just really starting to get like a tunnel vision, not seeing things clearly, or not taking other people's feelings and emotions into account. One thing I'm really drawn to are the lotuses. The lotuses here. So there's a story about the lotus and how they became to be a symbolic representation of enlightenment. Is all lotuses start out in the pond, right? So there's this little tiny seed, and you can think of the seed like that falls down and it gets stuck in the mud, like in the mire. And it's really disgusting, and it's gross, and it's dirty. It's it's the most unappealing of conditions to start out at us. And what happens is the sun, the warmth, warms the little seed and it germinates. And so it starts to sprout and it makes its way up, 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 out of the water, where it blossoms and it turns into this beautiful lotus flower. And I feel like that's what all of our potential is. We all have the potential to be the lotus, regardless of our circumstances, regardless of what situations we may find ourselves in. And if we just chase the light, whatever that means to you, chasing the light, chasing what's good, we have the ability to blossom, to bloom somehow, to bring some sort of beauty into this world. And we can't do that if we let our emotions take charge of our lives and just kind of put our emotions in the driver's seat when they're just out of control and just like so emotional. Sometimes it's good to take a step back before you really act on something and literally like sleep on it before you take an action on something that's really big, on something serious. Card number 6 is your relationships and emotions in the coming year. And here we have the 3 of Swords reversed. So I feel like, okay, with this card, your relationships and emotions in the coming year, there were a lot of old wounds, and these swords upside down, they're going to fall out. So this is a time of healing. So you may be healing relationships and healing like these emotional things that you may be prone to. It's a time of like sorting through and really thinking about like what's no longer really affecting you anymore, and being able to release that and let go, to being able to forgive and move forward. And maybe forgiving is forgiving people, or and actually allowing them back into your life. But sometimes forgiving is just forgiving them, so you're not tormenting yourself, you're not staying trapped in that emotional state anymore, but allowing yourself to move on. And that doesn't mean that you have to invite these people over for dinner or over for a cup of tea. It's just allowing them to not rule your life anymore, forgiving and moving on. And sometimes that means without certain people in your life. Card number 7, your career, work, and finances. All right. 9 of Swords reversed. So I feel like these are like all the obstacles, things that you've been thinking about, tormenting, stressing out, worrying about. This person's like up at night, really thinking about it, literally losing sleep over these issues. And on this bed that he's laying on, there's literally people fighting on the bed, right? So, but this card is reversed, and all of these issues, these are starting to fall away now. These are not things that are going to be tormenting him anymore, because these issues are going to start to resolve and work themselves out. And maybe that has something to do with you coming from a place of forgiveness. I don't know. It depends on your individual situation. Card number 8, your health and well-being. 10 of Cups reversed. Okay, so 10 of Cups reversed for your health and well-being. So I think this card is like, there may be issues that come up in the year 2023, but your family, and it doesn't have to be like your blood family. Maybe it's like people who you choose to surround yourself, people who are in your closest inner circle. Sometimes that's blood, sometimes it's not, but that closest circle of people are going to help you get through things regarding your health and your well-being. So like your emotional state, physically speaking, also you're gonna have a support group. Like, yes, there may be things that come up, but they're not going to be things that totally devastate you and completely rock your world. Again, this is a collective reading, so this is not an individual reading. So please do not put your physical health or your mental health entirely in the hands of the cards. Always consult an expert, an actual doctor if you need one. But there are people in your closest group who will be able to help you in this time. Card number 9, your spiritual energy and inner fulfillment. Okay, here we have 5 of Pentacles reversed. Just gonna turn this around so you can see it. Okay, so I feel like this card is suggesting that it's going to be time for you to work on your spirituality and your sense of inner fulfillment. I don't know what you believe in. It's a collective reading, so there's going to be like any number of different belief systems, and it really doesn't matter. Whatever it is that you believe, whoever it is that you worship or don't worship, it's going to be a time where you're going to be seeking out and working on yourself. This is not a time for you to be telling like other people how to live. It's going to be a time for you to work on you, for other people to help you. You're going to be actively seeking this out. Or maybe if you're not there, you're going to be considering it. Maybe this will be a time for that to come up. And that could be anything. Like it could be religion, it could not be religion. Maybe it's just like some sort of practice that allows you to look inward. Like maybe it's like Tai Chi, yoga, meditation, whatever, spending time in nature, but really allowing yourself to turn around and look inwards to get you out of this state. Like here are these people, they're outside in the cold, and there's this, it looks like a church or a chapel. And this guy's got like a bandage on his head, and she's actually barefoot in the snow. So it looks like he's got one shoe. Yeah. So instead of like being out here in the cold and suffering, these people are choosing not to go into this place, so this is going to be your time to go inwards and go into this place, to not be outside in the cold. Card 10, what you most need to focus on in the year ahead. Ooh, 6 of Swords. Okay, so this is, there's these 3 people. To me, it reminds me of like a woman and a child, but it doesn't have to be a woman and a child. That's just usually the thing that comes to my mind. But they have all this baggage, all of these issues that they haven't let go of, and they're coming from this really choppy water, and this guy, he's taking them to this calm, peaceful place. And it's not without its own challenges, but there's some growth, there's some opportunities here. And it's not easy, but like they are leaving the troubles behind. They're moving forward. And I feel like that's what this card is telling you with card 10, where your focus needs to be on this year ahead is on moving forward. And I think it's working on these issues, getting rid of this. Well, I don't even think it's like ready to get rid of that baggage yet. It's just getting out of this troubled water and going to this calmer water. It's just like the first step, baby steps. Card 11, your most important lesson for the coming year. 8 of Swords. Okay, so your most important lesson is here this person, and she's tied up. She's got this blindfold on. And there's all of these swords, all these obstacles blocking her from this place of stability. There's this water here, like I feel like that's like her intuition. And instead of following her intuition and walking away from this, she's literally just standing there. Her feet are not bound. You know, she could easily get out of these, well, maybe not easily, but she could get out of these bonds. She could remove this thing from her face. And but right here, she's choosing to stay here. She's choosing to be in this situation, even though it's uncomfortable, even though she knows this is not the best situation for her. It's kind of like a pity party. Okay, so your most important lesson for this year, I think, is realizing, like, when you fall into this 8 of Swords pattern, to remember, you know, you remember the 6 of Swords and just getting away from this turbulent water. Okay, maybe it's even calling in the 3 of Swords reversed, you know, like walking away and forgiving and moving on, whatever that means to you and your situation. This is going to be your most important lesson. Card number 12, overall, where you are headed in the next 12 months. 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so if you take heed when you realize when you're falling into this pattern here, this 8 of Swords, and I know this is so much easier said than done. When you're falling into this pity party type of mentality, remember that this is your potential. This is where you're headed. Don't stay here stuck. That, you know, previous year in summary, it was all about, you know, we ended the year with the Star, and you're off in search of this missing cup, and you're not going to find this missing cup if you stay here. So here we have the Pentacles, and the 10 is like completion. You know, you're like, you finished the full cycle. And with every cycle, you know, like one thing ends and another begins. So the Pentacles, they deal with real world issues. And I feel like this is like a completion. You're going to feel whole and complete. And there's all this growth around, and there's people around them, around this king. And to me, it reminds me of a king, but it's not actually a king. It's just like this older gentleman, but he's wise. His hair is white and he's wise. And I feel like this is like his legacy. Like, he's working on his legacy. And to me, this reminds me of like his family, you know, and the grandchild there. But it's really just like, what is he leaving behind? What is he leaving? What is he creating that people will remember him by? And that's where you are headed in the next 12 months. So thank you, Pile C. I hope you enjoyed your reading. Thank you so much for watching.